Unwrapping the lies. We are living at a time that we have so many lies, the truth is gone. Common sense isn't common anymore. Things that people would do that made sense, now they don't make sense. It's like everything we were told as kids, we have to go back and remember them because now what was once foreign to us has become something very common. And that's the scary part about life, whereby the things that were supposed to keep us in check to help and guide us have been overlooked with time. We are living at a time where content creators, whether influencers, whether celebrities, live such a fake life. The clothes they have is on rental. The cars they have on rental. The houses they have on rental. Even the relationships they have almost on rental. You pay someone to be with you for X amount of time, and then you can switch up to another person and pay up and pay. It's like you always go into this area and you rent out an individual. That's the life that it is right now. And the scary part is when those people live in those lives have started giving advices that could affect a nation or even globally. If they live in a pack of lies, what are the dangers that come with it? We're at a time whereby you can say any word and already people want to certify it as now a new thing. But nobody even questions the logic behind it, the intent behind it. It sounded right, it sounded cool. Nobody questions hijabing. Slogans nowadays, someone can say, "We did it." Nobody's asking, "Did what?" What's the did it? What was the whole thing? What was the beginning to the end of the conversation? Nobody knows. Dating has become more fake than real. Yes, whoever you meet online, but the person you meet, whether it is a lot of filter or anything, people live in double lives. They have their life on camera, they have their life off camera. And that's why you should learn to question everything and everyone and be very careful. Now, there are good people in every market. You have all kinds of people. When you go to a market, you have all kinds of people. You have the lady at the grocery who's selling her products, or the gentleman who's selling the products. You have someone who has a packing bag to sell to you. You have someone who's like a loader who can help you carry your goods. You have now the people purchasing the product. You have the county police or council or whoever it is who are ensuring that area is running smoothly. You have the people who are dealing with the garbage area, just trying to ensure that everything is at where it's supposed to be. And then you have the thieves. And they're among. And you don't know where they are. And they're all part of this market. And when you purchase an item, someone is watching you. And sometimes you want to buy a particular product, someone says, why not also try this one? And you're like, yeah, they spoke well, and you buy it. But there's also someone who's there, who's a thief who's right there, and you never know. A thief right now is not a thief of back in the day. Back in the day, you could do a quick math and be like, I suspect. Right now, a thief of today suits up, dresses well, has a little child, looks like a family, but they are thugs. And you never know it because you've lived using the logic of, oh, the older they are, they're better, or if they're of a different race, they're better. No, you don't know anyone. The hearts of people become cold, and people have started taking advantage of who they are to get away with things. Someone will use their beauty to get away out of some situations which legally should not be, but they get away with it. Someone will use their connect. We're living in a world where the lies are so many. And the thing about lies is you get into this shelf. So let's put it like there are 3 shelves. And every time you get into this shelf, you always pull in a document, right? And every time you pull in this document, let's say you have 5 documents. So you go to document 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you are a liar and you've gotten used to it, for the first 2-3 months, you'll be good at it. Or 1 year, you'll be good at it. You'll know this is shelf 1, shelf 2, shelf 3. And your lies are in your documents. And every time you pull the shelf that you pull in, you know which lie. But year 2 or 6 months later, you start forgetting. Why? Because year 1 or 6 months into, or 3 months into, you are very confident. Now, the confidence starts telling you nobody can see your loopholes. So, because nobody is talking, and nobody's saying anything, you're getting away with it. But are you really? You're not. And so you go back, and so people start realizing, nope, you are a fake. Because you keep going into the same shelf, but unlike going to the first, second, third shelf, you're stuck in the first shelf, and you are rotating among the 5 documents. In other words, the shelf is your package of life in its totality, and the little documents are now the additional lies that come with it. And so the lies become a part of you, become a part of your character, become a part of who you are. But eventually, you get so used to the lie that you cannot even tell the truth, because the lies have become so much. And so you get so used to the lies that you can never tell the truth. And so now, when people start noticing your flaws, people start noticing your discrepancies in your words, people start noticing, you seem to be saying the same thing and doing the same thing all over and all over. So once this person realizes they have been caught or almost to get caught, they have to shift their environments and move to another environment where they are not known and start the lies all over again. But eventually one day, someone catches up. Or they meet someone who's doing the truth, and because they were so used to their lies, the person doing the truth, they become an issue for them. And then an incident happens and the truth comes out. And it normally comes out in the most shameful way. And then people realize you are a lie. And then everything ends. And that is quite sad. When you look at scammers, if they use the same energy or lie, pathological lies, if they use the same energy they used to do their lies and everything, and if they used it for truth, they would have reached far. But people always believe no one is watching. Just like a politician, they can go and say and do whatever they are doing and see people silent and say, these people, I have them in my pocket. No, you don't. They are watching you. They're relaxing. They are watching every move, who you're influencing, how long, every move. They watch the people who retaliated, how you treated them, so that the moment they strike, you never see them coming. And that's the problem where we are in life. Be authentic. When you are real and authentic, people disappear. Because people want someone who can feed into the lies and the ego. So don't feed into nonsense. Stand up for the truth. Believe in what you believe in. Call people out or call situations out if they're not right. Because you have to look at it this way. If there is a hole in a ship, and you choose to tell, and the person who notices says, it's not a hole, it's just a patch, it's something minor or anything. As everybody ignores that little hole in that ship or in that boat, as time progresses, as more pressure gets into that area, eventually that small hole will become something big. And that ship or that boat will start sinking. And it will start sinking faster than it could have prior. If you don't deal with the issues and the menaces that happen within the time they happen, they become worse by the moment. So how far is too far? When the lies become part of an individual, eventually they become the person. Because their level of confidence in telling their lies makes them now the lie itself. The lies takes a backseat, because now the person is the lie. But they can't separate the two. Because now they are very confident with their lie. And that's the world we live in. Whether it's in the world of celebrities, influencers, politicians, friendships, families, partnerships, relationships, you have to see through. You have to learn to question. You have to learn to look and read in between the lines. You have to do your own due diligence. You have to give everyone and every situation a pinch of salt. It is good to want to trust, but it's important to try and take a backseat and say, what if? What if this is not the way it's supposed to be? What if this is a lie? What if this is not what it's supposed to be? Learn to question. Be authentic. Read in between the lies. It's not what they say, it's what they don't say but they said it. Because at the end of the day, if you're not careful and cautious, the lie will become the truth. And if this individual or this situation is in a place that can affect a community, a nation, eventually it brings it down. Now, if you look at some of these so-called influencers or celebrities or anything, they have so many pack of lies. But when you do your own due diligence, you realize everything is a lie. But why would we go to influencers and celebrities? Why? Because they do have an impact in a community, and they do have an impact in a nation, and even from a global point of view. Their words, their action, and their deeds, which we are supposed to say does not concern us, true. However, their impact and their action and the things they do sadly affects a society. And then the society starts moving towards this belief system. So if a belief system is a lie, and nobody holds them accountable to the lie, it becomes accepted. Hence, the truth becomes illegal, and the lie becomes legal. And when the lie becomes legal, and common sense leaves the door, and stupidity is what is running, then you have no control over what people can and will do. All of us are bound by laws. If we are to do the things that our intrusive thoughts will kick in and do, we'll all be locked up, and will not have societies, will not have nations. None of us would exist. But the laws keep us in check. Not because we don't do things behind the scenes and trying to find a loophole, but it's because it keeps you in check, because you know the consequences of your action are very powerful, and they will affect you and those around you in ways that will never benefit you. Because the thing is, the laws, you follow them not because of the society or the people, it's because of you. It is how does it affect you. When Cain killed Abel, he didn't repent of his sin. In fact, when he was told that what the judgment that would happen to him, he was more angry, he was more worried about his life, but not the consequences of the action he did to his brother. When Judas Iscariot was given the 30 silver coins, he was not repenting of his actions to what he did to our Lord Jesus Christ. He was only repenting of himself, because the benefit out of it would not be there. And you wonder, 3 years he was with him, and he chose 30 silver coins. And that's how the world is. And even when you look at scripture, it says, when the flood came, the intentions of the heart were wicked. How different is it from now? There are people who get married, not because they want a family, but someone has seen a paycheck whereby if this individual they've gotten married to can be exited out of this world in a X amount of period of time, so they can actually take a life insurance under that individual and live with them. Or there are people with particular types of insecurities that they've kept under the carpet, and now they found someone who they can manipulate and be able to do the things where they were once cautioned by other people. But this individual, someone has no control over it. Hence, we have so many toxic relationships. And that is why toxicity has been accepted to the extent whereby whether it's a memes, whether it's comedians, whether it's jokes, whatever it is, a pure relationship or a pure friendship is put under question and scrutiny if it's not toxic. Well, here's things like, if they don't, common one is whereby if a lady or a gentleman is relaxing, if your partner is just chilling, they're thinking about another partner. No. There are better things in life to think about other things. You could be thinking about your life, you're doing reflection. However, society and social media has pushed the agenda that when you are in your train of thought, you are doing something wrong, but you're not. Or if you are alone and just want to be alone, you have the trace of a serial killer. No. You just want to be left alone. You just want your peace of mind. And that's the dangers when we overlook things that, when you overlook the lies and you put away the truth, when you overlook common sense and you accept foolishness, when you overlook reality and accept delusion, eventually the kind of society we end up having Has no right, has no left, has no east, has no west. It's confused. And then it becomes everyone takes all. Let's look when you have an offer. And it's an offer or a big sale offer. How do people behave? People you see well-dressed, well, groomed and everything. But the moment those doors are open and they want to go to take something, they grab it. Let's say if it's queuing in a line, whether it's in an event, you start noticing people behaving very interesting characters, dressed well and everything. Even maybe they come driving a good car, But on that line, they're acting like full. Even kids are very responsible. Even animals are very responsible and even have, they know how to conduct themselves. You find a very grown person, old lady, insulting and saying, "No, this is mine. No, this food is for my." When you're thinking, just do a queue and hash it, and wait for your line, and then get whatever you're getting and leave. But that's where we are as society. And because we keep accepting trash, and we don't question the origin of the trash, and we don't deal with the source of the trash, we don't handle it, we say it doesn't mind, it doesn't. And then people start picking it and becomes part of society. But is it really part of society? No. It was never even supposed to be even included in part of society. But as long as we don't question things, as long as we don't hold people accountable, as long as we don't do our due diligence, what is wrong becomes right, and what is right becomes wrong. Toxic becomes healthy, and healthy becomes toxic. Healing becomes toxic, and toxic and not healing becomes the real thing. We start doing the opposite of what's supposed to be. If someone has gone through abuse, they should be able, by the grace of God, to go through the healing journey. Not move from the point of abuse and look for another person to abuse because they were abused. Because now they become like the person who abused them. And that's how the whole abuse thing works. The one person has been abused, and now they become a weapon against another individual. Let's look at bullies. When you do your own thorough investigation about someone who's a bully, some of them are bullies because someone bullied them. And so now they feel entitled to bully another person. And once you bring them to a place of shame, they start crying and they realize, why are you doing what you're doing? It's because someone else did to me. So just because someone wronged you, or just someone because did evil to you, does not give you the right to go and do the same evil to an innocent person so that you can continue down the vicious cycle. And then when you're questioned, you say, well, I survived, they should survive. No, because this person you're messing around with may not have the emotional strength like you did. So they may decide to take you out, done for, once and for all. So what will be the news now? You will be the one, you'll be another statistic of a foolish individual who went and provoked a person who was having the worst time in their life, and then they come after you. And that's the problem if we don't unwrap the lies. If you don't unwrap them, if we don't deal with these issues, if we don't remove it from this box and figure out the source of it, it will start eating into society. That's why now common sense isn't common anymore. Someone will go and provoke anyone. Someone will walk into your shop or into a supermarket and throw things down and feel they're entitled to it. Someone will do damages to your home, to your properties, and feel entitled to it. But what are the consequences for it? You lock them up, throw them wherever it may be, punish them. And so it's sad that now even thinking and understanding that this is wrong has become, now the animals are becoming more smarter than we are, because with social media, and for some, there are people who are always 24/7 on this phone, gadgets. To try and help that individual disconnect and learn there's a life beyond a technology is hard. Worst case, if now they've even moved into the VR side of it, where now they've not only moved from this level, they're now stuck in the virtual reality world, and they're moving to the extreme. Even to reason that individual will be even harder, because you switch off the electricity or the Wi-Fi and it's guns. It's a Mexican standoff there, and there's a Russian roulette. They will turn into animals and beasts in a split second. So yes, the lies become the truth if they are not unwrapped and dealt with. So the question is, will you want to be in a place in life where you acknowledge the lies and say, it doesn't bother me, it's okay, where you face the truth and deal with it? The truth hurts. You know why? Because it gets through the source of the issue. You better live with the truth than live with a pack of lies, because when the pack of lies comes, it crumbles down that whole tower, that whole foundation goes down. But the truth will always set us free. It's better to stand for the truth than fall from your tower of lies, ashamed, humiliated, when the truth would have just set you free from the very beginning. It costs nothing to stand up for the truth. It will cost you everything when you engage with the lies. And those are the facts. It doesn't matter how many types of excuses you give yourself. The truth will cost you nothing, but the lies will cost you everything. And those are the facts. So be very careful and mindful of what you accept, what you tolerate, because what you tolerate becomes part of your life. If you don't stop something, it continues. But if you put a stop to something, that situation realizes this is a no-go zone. If there are no entry or no-go zones you put around you, if there are no boundaries you put around you, if there are no level of tolerance, you said, I don't tolerate this. If you don't do that, these situations will run you over. Then, who will you blame? Put those blockers, put those boundaries. Because at the end of the day, it's better to live in the truth than to be destroyed in their life. But that's a choice that everyone has to make on their own and be honest with themselves. You either choose the truth and have a strong foundation, or you choose the lie and your foundation falls and crumbles. That is a choice. May God help us all.